Hey, Kyle.
What's going on, Sean?
Not too much. It's Saturday afternoon. It's gorgeous here. I imagine it's gorgeous there too.
Yep.
Yeah,
So we're inside.
we're inside doing a barrel aged Imperial Stout review.
Two very pale dudes on a hot day in their basement. Well, I'm usually in my basement. You're in your basement
Yeah,
drinking some big stouts. Totally makes sense.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Check out nerdsense.net. And after you're done doing that, actually, before you do that, go over to Kyle's channel, check out No Hype Beer Reviews, and also check him out on Instagram and Untapped. And then I think that's any other places? Just those two?
That's it. Yeah.
That's
If you
it.
show up to my house, which please don't.
Yeah, that would just get really awkward really fast, especially in a pandemic.
Yeah.
So this is a continuation of the Trillium resolution break review we did over on Kyle's channel that he released this week, or last, I guess. This week.
Depending on when you release this, yeah.
Right. But this is the barrel age version of Trillium's resolution break. In resolution break, for those that don't know, first off, you should go over to Kyle's channel and watch the base review first, and then come back here and watch this review. This is an Imperial Stout brew with cold brew coffee, Liège waffles, milk sugar, and vanilla. And spoilers, if you're still watching, you didn't go over to Kyle's channel. You're too late now. So it was amazing.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's so good. So I'm really dying to dive into the barrel aged version of this. Pop a top. Let's get into it.
Wait, did you mention the ABVs?
Oh yeah, so this is 15%. In the OG one, the original base is 13%. So probably some wet barrels.
Now, do we know when it says barrel aged, is it bourbon barrels or?
I do believe it's bourbon barrels, but I think we could probably check real quick, right? Bourbon barrel aged.
I assume, but yeah, just because the label just says barrel aged.
Yeah, I would. Barrington coffee. Yep, bourbon barrels, 12 months. Oof. This is gonna
be. That smells so good already.
Yeah. So I have no head.
Yeah.
It's pretty much gone. Yeah, that's alcohol legs.
Oh yeah.
I can't even get ahead if I twirl this thing. Yeah, it's pretty much pitch black, right?
I'm trying to see. Yeah, no, that's very dark.
Yeah.
I'm holding it next to a light and it's still dark black. Yeah.
You want to get a nose?
Yeah.
Whew.
That smells awesome.
It's definitely everything in the base. It's sugary, it's sweet, it's chocolate, it's caramel, but then the barrel is right up in front. It's like all over everything else.
It's unmistakably barrel aged. I mean, that's. I love how this smells because you're getting those adjuncts, but it has that. It already almost smells syrupy, which is totally rad.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a very good point.
Because, like you said, I mean, it's got that sweetness, and then it's got maybe like chocolate syrup because it's got that chocolate and the sweet. I don't know, but like it already smells syrupy.
Yeah, Hershey's chocolate, like the squeeze bottle syrup, like that's actually a good. Yeah, that's perfect. Oh, and like you kind of get a little bit of doughiness, like a little bit, like I'm guessing that's probably from the waffles, but maybe.
A little bit like burnt sugar caramelization.
Yep.
And caramel, just speaking of that word, but
yeah, because the Liège waffles, they're essentially just sugared waffles, and then they're like it's caramelized sugar on the waffles that are just it's ridiculous. You want to dive in?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Cheers, my friend.
That's good.
That's definitely 15% too.
Yeah. It's got that syrup quality. I'm really glad that did we say this in the base one? I think we did. The coffee really helps cut through some of the sweetness this beer has.
We did.
Same thing is true here, but then also you're getting some lovely things, which I'm sure we'll talk about from the barrel aging. but in terms of cutting through the sweetness, also some of that oak. So it is helping bring balance to a beer that's not particularly balanced. It's good.
Yeah. It's good.
I mean, we could stop the review here. This is delicious.
This is
Thanks for coming, everyone.
I think the big thing that makes, and I wonder though, if this was put in the barrel 12 months ago, the coffee is still coffee. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's still very much cold brew coffee. So it's kind of weird. Like maybe the barrel's preserving the flavor or something of it, or are they adding it after? I don't think that wouldn't be the case. I'd have to imagine this was brewed. This is last year's batch, just aged.
The fact that this is 12-month-old coffee and there's no green pepper, it's very still, there present. Also not overly done. I mean, I think liking coffee is helping my enjoyment of this, because you and I both do really enjoy coffee. And it does have a lot of coffee, but I think there's so much else going on. It's like the Mike test. I don't know, would Mike like this beer, or is it too much coffee? I could see some people who maybe don't love coffee, but like the other things this beer's offering, who would still like this beer.
Yeah, Mike test. I think this would pass Mike test better than base would pass Mike test.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going on.
But it's like this figgy plumminess too, like that's kind of like hits like mid palate, and then it gives you like a little bit of kiss of the booze. You like where it's like, hey, slow down. And it's like just overall just like chocolate. Like just like you said, like the chocolate syrup is kind of there throughout the whole journey.
For sure. It's like the base note that's there the whole time with the other stuff sprinkled in. I am getting that warmth in the chest.
100%. Yeah.
And then it has vanilla, it has the milk sugar. I think you're getting some of the vanilla from the barrel. So it has that nice vanilla-ness. Also at times it's got, just that chocolate is everything. I shouldn't say chocolate's everything, but chocolate is so much of this beer in the best possible way. I like how the coffee is on its own, but also I think adding to that roasty chocolate quality.
Now, for you, the vanilla, and this actually isn't me being funny. Like, what do you like? How much vanilla are you actually getting? Like, you getting a good amount? Or you getting?
I'm not getting a huge amount. Don't get me wrong. I'm not getting a huge amount. I mean, it's there. It's definitely there, and what's coming through is interesting because, and I'm sure we've talked about this before, a lot of things we eat that are vanilla don't taste like vanilla bean. This has that like vanilla beanie thing to it. And I think that barrel's kicking out a decent amount of the vanillin kind of taste. But the chocolate, like you said, for sure, I'm getting more of the barrel stuff. I'm getting more for sure. The coffee more, the roast more. So in terms of what this beer's offering, vanilla is lower on the list.
Agreed.
Yeah, is that what you're getting at, or what?
That's sort of no. Yeah. Where I was getting, like, I was thinking like the base had way more vanilla kind of upfront character, whereas this does have that like takes a back seat, but it is there, so everything works. It's really interesting that like we keep saying chocolate because chocolate is, but there's no chocolate in it. You know what I mean? It's just like I had to look at the label again to make sure. Wait, did they put chocolate in this? But no. So it's like there's just a whole. It's just it's very chocolatey. It's probably a combination of like the caramelized sugars on like the waffles and stuff too. That's kind of adding to like with the barrel char that's given it, because I don't remember the base being as super chocolatey. So it's got to be barrel that's somewhat doing that.
I agree. And it is a different vintage that was put in barrels than what we just reviewed. I mean, for whatever that's worth as well. But I do think the vanilla, although less in this, is more complex, which is kind of cool, because I think that vanilla is adding another layer to that note.
That's a good point. No, it's a very good point. But yeah,
and I also think this would be a good beer if we were doing a live stream where we could probably, have a side conversation for 5-10 minutes, come back and pick out something else worth talking about,
Yep.
This beer's got a lot going on.
That tends to happen. Yeah, it does. Now, if you had to pick base or barrel aged,
despite the lesser vanilla, I would go this because It's barrel aged. How can I not? It's got a higher ABV. How can I not? It's me, man. I gotta. You know. How about you?
No, probably the same. Yeah. And that's not a knock on the base. Like the base is still a great like adjuncted Imperial Stout, but this kind of just takes it and kicks it up to 11.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly right. It's so good.
Yeah, it's very good. So it's like 2 months old. So yeah, if you guys can still trade for it, highly recommend this beer. I highly recommend the base. This is I said it in the original review that this is probably one of my new favorite Trillium stouts that like I'm going to look forward to every single like February.
I just took another sip. I got so much of that berry thing. I'm glad you mentioned that earlier. I get like the dark fruit, like blueberries specifically. I'm getting like, man. But yeah, no, yeah. If this is still available for people to get trading or whatever, like, yeah, this beer's worth it. This is delicious.
I think I still have a bottle left too, so I'm looking forward to it. I probably won't. I don't know. I don't think it would. Well, maybe. Well, it's barrel aged, so maybe it would age a little bit better. But I feel like there's a lot of adjuncts in there that could fall off after a little bit more time.
Maybe like a year, just like when you get one next year, just
that's a good idea.
Try to drink it around then.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't go much more than a year. I don't think. And I watched your guys' video for the other half one that had the adjuncts. So you guys were talking about aging it or not. That is the thing with these adjuncted beers is, doesn't really get that much better. You just lose out some of the adjuncts as time goes on.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, this beer is fantastic. Do you have any final thoughts?
This beer is fantastic, and that's my final thought.
Sweet. And as I said in the beginning, go over and check out Kyle over at No Hype Beer Reviews and give him a sub if you don't already sub, which you should be subbing. If you're not subbing, you're doing something wrong. And then and you know where to find us because you're already here. So, well, I'm Sean.
I'm Kyle.
And this is Nerdsense.
Cue the music.
Cue the music.